Hello everyone, welcome back to MediPlus. So in this video, I'll be covering about the pleura. The pleura is the covering of the lung, and it is a two-layered membrane which covers the lung. That is, it has the visceral part and the parietal part. The visceral part is in close proximity to the lungs, whereas the parietal part is in close proximity to the thoracic wall. So here in this diagram, as you can note, that we have the internal surface of the ribs and the muscles, that is the intercostal muscles. So the inner part that is covering the ribs and muscles, the intercostal muscles directly, is referred as the parietal pleura, since it is in close contact to the thoracic wall, which is formed by the ribs and the muscles. So this one is the parietal pleura, whereas the one which is in close contact with the lungs, it is referred as the visceral pleura. So here we have the visceral pleura. The visceral pleura is actually closing the entire lung, whereas the parietal pleura is enclosing the complete thoracic wall. Now, apart from it, the parietal pleura also covers the structures of the mediastinum. So here I am introducing a new term, that is the mediastinum. The mediastinum is the region which is present between the pleura of the two lungs. That is, here suppose I am making the pleura of the lungs, and this covering which is in close proximity to the lung is the visceral pleura. Now the structure present between the two pleura is referred as the mediastinal structures. So it includes heart, blood vessels and various lymphatics, and we divide the mediastinum into the two parts, that is the superior part and the inferior part, on the basis of the sternal angle, that is the angle of Louis. So here you can take a look that the structure which is present between the manubrium of the sternum and the body of the sternum is referred as the angle of Louis, and this angle of Louis forms a plane which is known as the plane of Ludwig. So here the superior and the inferior mediastinal structure are separated by the plane of Ludwig, and these are responsible to divide the mediastinum into the superior aspect and the inferior aspect of the mediastinum. Further, we classify the inferior mediastinum into the anterior, middle and the posterior part of the mediastinum. Now, all the structures which are enclosed within the mediastinum are covered by the parietal pleura, and it is known as the mediastinal pleura. So the parietal pleura itself is covering the structures of the mediastinum, and it is referred as the mediastinal pleura. And we also have the costal pleura. Now costal pleura refers that it is covering the part of the ribs as well as the muscles. So this part, since costal refers as the ribs, so costal pleura means the parietal pleura covering the rib cage. Then we have the diaphragmatic pleura. The diaphragmatic pleura refers that the parietal pleura is covering the diaphragm, which can be seen here marked in black color. So this is the diaphragm. And then we have the cervical pleura. So as the name suggests, cervical pleura means it is closer to the neck, since it has cervical in its name. So the upper part of the parietal pleura covering the lungs is referred as the cervical pleura. Now these pleura are continuous, which means that once the cervical pleura ends here, we have the beginning of the costal pleura or the mediastinal pleura, the costal pleura on the lateral side and the mediastinal pleura on the medial side. And when this transition takes place, that is from one pleura to the other pleura, we refer it as the recess. So basically there are types of recess which we will study, that is the first one being the costodiaphragmatic recess, the second one being the costomediastinal recess. Now the term costodiaphragmatic refers that it is the transition between the costal pleura and the diaphragmatic pleura, whereas the costomediastinal pleura is the one in which we have transition or continuation from the costal pleura to the mediastinum. So the costomediastinal pleura is made up of the costal pleura and the mediastinal pleura. So the costomediastinal pleura is made up of the transition between the costal pleura and the mediastinal pleura, which can be seen here. So as you can see here that the sharp part of the lung which is in close contact with the diaphragm is referred as the recess. So here is the transition being taking place from the costal pleura to the diaphragmatic pleura. Similarly, on the medial side, we have the transition between the parietal pleura of the mediastinum, that is the mediastinal pleura, and the costal pleura, since ribs are present anteriorly, laterally, and posteriorly. So they are continuous throughout, and so it is the costal pleura which is being joined with the mediastinal pleura, and that transition is known as the costo-mediastinal recess. So here is a basic diagram. In it we have the lungs which is present on the innermost side. Then upon it we have the presence of the visceral pleura, and above the visceral pleura we have the presence of the pleural cavity. Now this pleural cavity is the region where the pleural fluid is present, and this pleural fluid is responsible for increasing the lubrication between the visceral pleura and the parietal pleura, and along with it the pleural cavity has presence of the recess, that is the costodiaphragmatic and the costomediastinal. Now above the pleural cavity lies the visceral pleura, which is this dark blue color line. Now this dark blue line refers that it is the parietal pleura, that is the outer pleura, and above the parietal pleura lies the endothoracic fascia. Now the significance of the endothoracic fascia is that it continues upwards as the suprapleural membrane, or also referred as the Simpson's fascia, and this Simpson's fascia, as you can note, is present between the parietal pleura, which is present here, and the rib cage. So this here are the rib cage. I have made up the red box for the muscles while the black box for the bones. So this represent the intercostal muscles along with the ribs. So between the parietal pleura and the rib cage lies the endothoracic fascia, and this endothoracic fascia superiorly is called as the suprapleural membrane or the Simpson's fascia, about which we will be discussing in a minute. And superior to the rib cage lies the fat. So this part which I have highlighted in yellow is the fat. Above the fat layer we have the presence of skin. So this is the general arrangement of the lungs. Then we have the visceral pleura, then we have the parietal pleura. In between the parietal pleura and the visceral pleura we have the presence of the pleural cavity. The pleural cavity comprises of the pleural fluid, which is responsible for increasing the lubrication to prevent friction between the visceral and the parietal pleura. And then upon it we have the presence of the endothoracic fascia. So this is the endothoracic fascia, and above it we have the presence of the rib cage, and further we have the fatty layer, and further we have the skin. Now moving ahead, we have the suprapleural membrane or the Simpson's fascia. Now the suprapleural membrane or the Simpson's fascia is present above the superior thoracic aperture. Now the superior thoracic aperture is this structure, that is, suppose here we have our C7 vertebra, that is the cervical 7th vertebrae, and below it we have the thoracic 1 vertebrae. Now the first rib forms the superior thoracic aperture. This opening is referred as the superior thoracic aperture, and some book also referred it as the thoracic inlet. Now as you can see that the Simpson's fascia is originating from the transverse process. So as you can note that the Simpson's fascia is originating from the transverse process of the cervical 7 vertebrae, and it is inserting on the medial border or the internal border of the first rib. Now in this cross-sectional view we can note that here we have the first rib, and then here we have the suprapleural membrane, and the suprapleural membrane is present above the cervical pleura, which was the part of the parietal pleura, and above the suprapleural membrane or the Simpson's fascia lies the subclavian vessels, that is the subclavian artery and the subclavian vein, and here below the cervical pleura, as we have discussed earlier, that it is the apex of the lung. And as I mentioned that the facial part of the suprapleural membrane is made up of the endothoracic fascia. The muscular part of the substance fascia or the suprapleural membrane is made up of the middle scalene muscle, which you can see here, which is inserting on the first rib. So thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe. And if you're new here, do consider subscribing to MediPlacebo. And also you can follow us on Instagram where we post medical related content, and you can find the notes of this video at our website, that is www.mediplacebo.com. Thank you.